Welcome back to the channel, everybody. So we have some XRP news today. We have some Bitcoin news today. We have some gold news today. We have a lot of stuff to get through today. And we have some mind-blowing there was some banking news released today that's going to change everything. If it comes to fruition, the entire landscape of the trajectory that we believe the bank coins are on completely changes, and the banking industry as a whole will change forever. And it will position certain bank coins very, very well, very well. But once again, I'm going to put that video. That's the next members only video I'm going to put out. So make sure you head over there. You can join the members only section if you're not a part of it. This should be a join button down below. Sometimes they put it in the description box. It's up to you. But that's where that article is going to go. I'm going to give you the article. You can read it yourself. We're going to go over that. And you're going to see for yourself the implications are insane. But I'll tell you what's interesting. We should have saw this coming a mile away. Like, I'll be obtuse with this, but whoever you think is controlling the banking industry right now, like dominating it, they did themselves a disservice with a lot of their activities, because there's always someone bigger and more powerful than you. And now those giants may be about to move. But like I said, you'll see that in that article over there at the members only section. I'll be releasing it either later today or tomorrow. Trust me, it's going to be potent. But let's begin here with some XRP news. This article is titled, "Veteran Trader Issues Timeline for XRP to Range $3 to $5. All right. So this is coming from someone named Ash Crypto. They posted it on X. They say this person has 10 years of experience in crypto trading. They're a real veteran if that's the case. But this is, they gave their prediction on XRP amongst 12 other digital assets. So I'm going to assume that they weren't showing any favoritism to XRP and that these are probably just averages. Like, this is not their high numbers. Although $3 to $5 is still pretty good. But once again, this is just someone's opinion. We know how that goes. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. We've heard a lot of predictions that didn't play out, but it doesn't matter. People are still entitled to make their predictions, and maybe it does happen. Who knows? Bitcoin can go nuclear and lift some things up. I don't know when the case is going to be over, but we're at the end of it. Maybe that ends, and when the case ends, anything is possible. I don't care what anyone says. Anything is possible. Maybe, I don't know. That's all I know. There's no limitation on it. No one. No matter how much they try to downplay XRP, because that's the cool thing now, is to downplay XRP and keep the price low to play it safe. Listen, nobody can put a cap on that. They already have 300 banks signed up to use the XRPL, to use RippleNet, whatever it is. On-demand liquidity, they use XRP. They haven't been unleashed yet. We haven't even been able to see what that looks like to have an unleashed XRP yet. So who's to know? There's thousands of banks on the table. They definitely need it. The small banks are in trouble. We went over that information. They're about to get crushed. Everybody's saying that that there's going to be banks collapsing, or they might need to congeal with the bigger banks. Janet Yellen said it. Was the guy from the Fed? I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. My apologies. Jerome Powell. He was talking about the problems that may be coming. The IMF recently talked about the problems. So the banks have a bunch of factual problems. They're going to need this. They need to make money. They need to bring customers back. So when XRP is unleashed, you think they don't want to make big money? They know XRP is big money. Just like I know XRP is big money, or can be big money. It can be. That's what I mean. It can be. We're talking about potentiality. Of course, there's no guarantees, anything. We stay balanced. But if you don't say the opposite side, you get people that jump in all the time. Like, what if it doesn't? Like, we know there's a possibility that something may not happen. What we're acknowledging is the possibility it might happen. We're just choosing not to err and live on the side of pessimism. Everything is chancy. Every single time you do anything, even if you hold Bitcoin, it's chancy. Everything is a chance in a gamble in life. It's just the way that it is. You either have the courage to take that gamble or you don't. It's one of the two. You make your own decisions. But anyway, this next section is titled XRP to range $3 and $5 by next September. That's very, very soon. Very, very soon. Now, in the future, do I believe XRP can reach $3 to $5? You should already know. Yes, I do. That's nothing. That's the 3 to 5. That's nothing for an let me clarify, for an unleashed XRP. That should be nothing. If the company's using XRP, play their cards right. If everything goes according to plan, $3 to $5 should be nothing. Talk about less than peanuts, in my opinion. It's just my opinion. I'm not Ripple. I'm not whatever those other companies are that build on the XRPL, using the XRPL. I can't remember their names off the top of my head. My apologies. I can't remember everything. Now, this article goes as such, and it says, specifically for XRP, the prominent trader suggested the asset could be worth between $3 and $5 in the next 12 to 15 months. 12 to 15 months? Then why did they say by how far is next September? 12, they said by next September, but then they say in the next 12 to 15 months. I guess they mean in that range. So it could be lower than the 12 to 15, right? It's like it's an encompassing thing. It says, notably, this analyst offered no specific factor upon which its bullish forecast was formed besides the general optimism expected to ride the crypto after Bitcoin's halving. You know what? I like that. I like that this person didn't give anybody a reason why it might happen. So it's the ultimate. I don't know if this person was trolling by doing that, just that little aspect, but it's perfect because now they don't have a reason to go against you either because they don't know why you're saying it. You're just generally bullish. I love it. Give me more of these kind of predictions. I like that. It says at press time, XRP changes hands at 52 cents. I think it hit 56 cents today, but I get these little pop-ups on my phone throughout the day as I'm like on the go. I believe I saw 56 cents, but what difference does it make? You know, we're all waiting for that case to end and XRP to go nuclear. Either that or Bitcoin goes nuclear and pulls XRP up with it. And then if XRP goes up, XLM will go up with it. Algorand will do its thing. Solana will be unleashed. You know how this goes. It says, moreover, the analyst proposed 12 to 15 month timeline implies that he foresees XRP witnessing this 9-fold price expansion between April 2025 and September 2025, which is predicted to be the height of this bull season. Okay, now that time range, look, like I said, no one has a crystal ball, but that's a pretty good time range. Like, let's see what happens with the case. The case, it's like this. The case is the blockade. And behind that blockade are all those potent partnerships that bring utility to XRP. That's what I look at. When that blockade drops and then those partnerships can be actuated on, they can start using on-demand liquidity. They can start using XRP. Let's move on here. We have another XRP article. There's always something. That's why I love XRP news also. It's not just holding the crypto and understanding the potentiality of it. And once again, XRP is not something I'm ever going to play with. That's not going to happen. XRP, XLM, Algorand, Quant. I don't play with those. Those are long holes just for me. I don't control anyone else. They do what they want to do. Not financial advice. But anyway, that just popped into my mind. This article is titled XRP Whales Move 100 million XRP, stirring Ripple speculation. I mean, what is the speculation? I mean, that Ripple could be involved. They probably are involved. Who knows? That's a huge amount. A massive transfer of 100 million XRP has sparked speculation about the involvement of Ripple amid market volatility and CTO's transparency assurance. The cryptocurrency community has been alerted to a substantial transfer of 100 million. Why do they reiterate themselves all the time, constantly? They just said this 2 sentences ago. Then they say it in the third sentence. Anyway, equivalent to approximately $53 million. I'm rounding that. It says on-chain data confirms that the massive fund flow occurred today at 4:06 a.m. Let's scroll down here. Notably, both the sending and recipient address are labeled unknown, stirring speculation. Yeah, well, a lot of people want to keep their identities private. They're not going to label it so that you know who it is, so they could be targeted, right? Stirring speculation regarding their identities. While concrete confirmation is lacking, data suggests a potential link to Ripple. What data? See, I don't like when someone says something obtuse like that. Tell me specifically what data. It says data suggests. What data? You just said that they were both listed as unknown. What else could you have that points you towards Ripple? Although, like I said, just guessing, and anyone can do that. I say, yeah, that could be potentially something involved with Ripple or institutions. But data? Tell me what? What data? It says the San Francisco based blockchain payments firm. Transaction details. Then they talk about 100 million again. Third time they're referencing that. It says conversely, the sender, although also new, demonstrates relatively more activity than the receiver. The sender's address history reveals only 6 past transactions, receiving 12 XRP from Ripple at one point. Okay, so is this the data you're talking about? 12 XRP from Ripple. Okay, so that, well, just say that at the beginning. All right, so now that must be the data, right? That's the data from Ripple at one point, with this transaction implying an affiliation with the company. I'd like to see that. Like, isn't it? Can't anybody just name something anything? So that doesn't necessarily mean it's actually them, right? Isn't there a bunch of wallets with other people's names on it that's not really them? I mean, I don't know. You tell me. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, I'm just considering all possibilities. It says, with this transaction implying an affiliation with the company. However, without official commentary from Ripple, this remains unconfirmed, which goes back to what I was saying before. There's no way to know. Just because it says Ripple doesn't mean anything. You would need confirmation from them to say it is them. Because if every name on those addresses was legit or wallets was legit, you just be able to know this was from Ripple without questioning right now, right? It says recent developments show that XRP has witnessed significant whale activity besides the recent fund flow, in addition to involvements from retail investors and other institutions. Ripple has also moved the large sums of XRP tokens for sales and to cater to its payments clients. Well, there's been a lot of whale activity because as selling occurs, there's going to be buying. Whenever there's massive selling, there's massive buying. Simple as that. They're getting it on the low. They're getting it for a lower price. And it's not that money is a problem for these institutions, because obviously it's not. But institutions are very wise. Like, if they can get it cheaper, then they will. If they can't, they're not really worried. But they would prefer to have something as cheap as possible. That's just good business. So then they go into a little bit about Ripple, about XRP sales and such. But let's skip that part and go to this next article, because we have a few articles to get through today. And I don't want to miss any. And I still have to record the members only video. So I want to make time for that. It says Ripple's chief technology officer. Okay, so this article is titled Ripple's CTO Challenges Bitcoin's Logic Framework. Ripple's chief technology officer, David Schwartz, has stepped into a thought-provoking discourse that hinges on the control of hash power within the Bitcoin network. In response to tweets, Schwartz offers a new perspective, questioning the logic that the majority of hash power determines who gets to use the name Bitcoin. An ex-user, quote, Curtis Ellis, unquote, shared on X what he refers to as, quote, Bitcoin logic, quote, unquote, that the majority of hash power decides who gets to use the name Bitcoin, and that users must run a full node so they only follow the hash power that runs the rules that they choose. It says, to put things in context, participants or computers that maintain the Bitcoin blockchain are known as nodes, classified into full and minor nodes. Full nodes get and store an entire blockchain copy on them, ensuring that blocks and transactions follow network rules by validating them. Full nodes are essential to the integrity and security of the Bitcoin network. The Nakamoto consensus has served as the backbone of the Bitcoin network, and one of its key components is the longest chain rule. When competing chains occur on a network, the longest chain rule declares the chain with the highest total computing effort to be a legitimate blockchain. The Ripple CTO, however, brings a fresh perspective to the Bitcoin discussion, questioning whether the majority of hash power indeed confers the authority to define what, quote, Bitcoin, unquote, is. It says, quote, do you think a rational user says, I want whatever is called Bitcoin, whether it's good or bad, honest or corrupt? The former is how you tell what is Bitcoin, and the latter is how you get what you actually want, unquote, Schwartz queried. Schwartz cites the scenario of the Bitcoin Cash hard fork from Bitcoin. Bitcoin Cash is a hard fork of Bitcoin whose split took place in 2017. He added, quote, when the BTC BCH fork happened, rational users didn't say, I want whichever side is called Bitcoin afterward. The rule for how to tell which side is Bitcoin doesn't tell users which side they want to be on or get them on the side they want, unquote. While the discussion continues, the Ripple CTO's intervention brings a nuanced perspective, challenging the community to think critically about the principles that underpin the ecosystem. I'm not a part of that community. I'm not. I hold Bitcoin. I understand the potentiality of it. A lot of big money companies want Bitcoin. Bitcoin price stands to go up. The halving just happened. So now it's just time is ticking until it goes off. It will go up, make lots of money. And that's the part of the community that I'm in. I just want to make money off of Bitcoin. Nothing more. I'm not making any secret about it. I just want to make money off of Bitcoin. That's it. I let the miners handle their stuff, and all the people that love the technical side, that's for them. That's for them. I just want to make some gains. Yeah. I'm keeping it simple when it comes to Bitcoin. That's right. All right. So now somebody out there's like, yeah, I'm in that same community. Yeah, we're birds of a feather. Birds of a feather make gains together. On to this article here. So now this article. Oh, this is one of those articles that gets people's emotions flared up. I don't know why, but it's just someone's opinion. This article is titled, A Pundit Foresees XRP between $100 and $10,000 after SEC lawsuit ends. Once again, this is someone's opinion. You know, people get real worked up and they let you, they unload on you in the comment section. When you make videos, you're a content creator. Just know that if you want to be a content creator, get ready for that. Or you read something like this and they disagree with it. And, you know, for a lot of people, it seems like they believe that their perspective is the only one that's right. Anything that's different from their perspective, they rail against it, that's an interesting way to think. But anyway, so this article is titled Pundit Foresees XRP between $100 and $10,000 after SEC lawsuit ends. And there's a lot of people that feel that way. It's just that their voices have been getting drowned out lately because, once again, it seems like the cool thing now is to be against XRP. People that were for XRP now speak as though it can only hit a low price. They're trying to play it safe. That's the cool thing to do now. And people move with the group. They move with the herd. Whatever the energy is, however they can keep the bulk of supporters, that's what they go with. You know what I mean? But a lot of people feel this way. I've heard a lot of people over the years talk about a $10,000 price, $100,000. Oh my goodness. $100 price, $500 price. I've read a lot of articles like that over time. So it's not just this one individual. But anyway, let's hear what this individual has to say. You make up your own mind about it. It says members of the XRP community continue to speculate about XRP's outlook upon the conclusion of the multi-year legal battle involving Ripple and the SEC. Community member Jack, with 212,000 followers on X, they always reference the followers. Why? Does that mean that this person's opinion matters more than anybody else's? Like, I don't see it like that. Just tell me what they said, and I'll decide if it's potent or not. Your wisdom is either potent, your opinion is either potent, or it's not. It's not, and the potency of it has nothing to do with how many people follow you or subscribe to you. There's people that speak to me every day from the members only section, right? And they may not have any subscribers. They may not have any followers, and they have some of the most potent ideas ever. These people are some of the wisest people I've ever come across. They'll tell you things about crypto that are mind blowing. They'll tell you things about health that are mind blowing. They'll look out for you, show you love that's mind blowing. So should that not matter because they don't have 200,000 followers? No. So I just hate that emphasis on that. Like, this person is somebody because not this person in particular, but all these article writers do that. This person's opinion should be respected because they have a lot of followers or subscribers. Man, listen, I just don't agree with that. I don't. And I don't take myself out of that equation. I don't think my opinion is any better or worse than anybody else's. It's an opinion. It's an opinion. You know, I'm of the class in the school of let's learn from each other. It's not about status. Let's learn from each other. You have something to offer. Can we build together? Build thoughts or something else? And if we can't build, then it's worthless. It has nothing to do with how many followers you have, how many subscribers you have. So it says this, listen, you know why I think about that? Because every day I'm faced with this hierarchical way of existence and thinking in society. And I don't like the hierarchies. It puts a lot of good people on the bottom and who should not be on the bottom. It puts a lot of other people at the top. And the hierarchies tend to be very, very unfair. It doesn't take real value into account. It says Jack emphasized that the Ripple-SEC lawsuit's conclusion means XRP has complete regulatory clarity to function as the first cross-border payment asset in the U.S. Yeah, that's facts. Accordingly, he argued that a 3 to 5 digit value for XRP upon the termination of a protracted legal battle with the U.S. regulator, quote, is inevitable, unquote. And I like that confidence. I like that confidence. I like that warrior spirit. And they said Jack. Why wouldn't you just say Jack the Rippler? We all know this person is Jack the Rippler. You just say that and we're like, okay, yeah, we remember Jack. This person has been very impactful with a lot of their thoughts. But I like that this person is standing their ground. They have courage. This is what they believe. And they haven't turned away from it, no matter what FUD has come their way. No matter, FUD, harassment, all types of stuff. But Jack the Rippler says 3 to 5 digits per XRP is inevitable. It's up to you to make up your mind if you believe that or not, if you agree or not. Notably, the outlook suggests the community pundit expects XRP to be between $100 and $10,000 sometime in the future. Jack's latest commentary on XRP's potential value expanded upon his earlier assertive claim that XRP trading at $1,000 would be, quote, peanuts, unquote. Go get him, Jack. Get him. I loved every second of this. I love it. At the time, he grounded the forecast on XRP Ledger's utility in the tokenization market. Once again, wasn't it David Schwartz himself that said it's all a matter of what's issued on chain? That's what people are not getting. All the things that XRP can do, all of the things that could be issued on chain, all of the different banks, all of the tokenization that could be on the XRPL. That's where you have to look in order to know the potentiality of XRP. Once again, there's no guarantees in anything, but you can make your own mind up once you start looking at all that value that could come to XRP. That's what I do. I'm not going by what anybody told me about XRP's price. I go by the calculations I've made, and I've never put out my number. Never. I have my own thoughts. So I think that everybody should make their own calculations on that. Just look at what could be issued on chain and what it can do. You have interbank payments, loosening up Nostro, on-demand liquidity, payment channels. You already have 300 banks. You think it's still at 300 banks? I just refuse to believe that. So there's no way I can believe that they've been at 300 banks for 2 years. So what has Ripple been doing? Just sitting in the office twiddling their thumbs? No, they had to. Well, I saw an article once that said 400 banks, and I can't find that article anymore. There was a couple of them, but I can't find those anymore. But 300 is like the accepted number of banks that they have. But there's no way it's been 2 years and they still have 300 banks. No way. They had to cross the 400 or 500 bank threshold by now. They had to. There's plenty of banks out there. They're just not mentioning it. They don't want to bring any heat to their clients. I get that. I understand that. But, you know, you make up your own mind where it can go. Clearly, this person has seen something that makes them believe that XRP can go this high. To each his own, you know. I love this person's attitude. It says, now this XRP enthusiast has issued an even bolder outlook for XRP when Ripple's regulatory hurdle concludes. All right, listen. Wherever it's going to go, I only speak for myself, but wherever it's going to go, I'll be there to see where it goes. High or low, I'll be there to see how high it goes. I've been in this to win it, and I'm there until we reach that finish line. Simple as that. I want to see where how all of this plays out. Come too far, and I'm not turning back. I'm not taking a knee. I'm not taking a step back. So I'm not here to make a prediction and say how high it can go. I'm not here to put a cap on it. I'm just here to see it with my own two eyes and live it. And I will. That's not based on anyone else's movements or anyone else's thoughts, or no, I'm making that choice for myself. Simple as that. So now, same thing with the other bank coins. Same thing. I have plenty of other assets to play in. Plenty of other ones that could play with and move around here and there and make and shake and bake with. But the bank coins, I don't shake and bake with. Cold wallet, and I'm relaxing, doing my research, keeping up with the catalysts, making sure everything continues to go according to plan, and staying privy and abreast to any new developments that might make it even more potent and back up my thoughts. So now let's move on to this one here. Let's find out what's going on here. This article is titled, it's a Bitcoin article. It's titled, Swiss Bitcoiners Renew Efforts to Orange Pill the Country's Central Bank. What the heck is an orange pill? I hope they explain that. Like, a lot of these people, they have these like these phrases that are only understood within like certain groups. I don't know. What the heck is an orange pill? What's an orange pill? Is this some Matrix type stuff? Like, I remember in the Matrix movie, I'm not mainstream, folks. I can't. What do you want me to do? I'm not mainstream. I don't know all these little phrases that these people use. I don't watch TV. I don't watch movies as mainstream. If I watch a movie, it's once in a while, and it's old school movies. I might watch Daylight or something like that with Sylvester Stallone. Maybe I'll watch Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger, the original I'm talking about, you know. Watch it, you know, with Pennywise, the original. Like, I don't watch mainstream stuff. I'm not a part of mainstream culture, so I don't know what these phrases mean. But let's read this article. The Bitcoiners will first need to convince 100,000 Swiss nationals to sign the petition to kick off a referendum, a threshold that played their first attempt in October 2021. You didn't even tell me what's going on. You didn't even tell me. What kind of article is this? What is this? You didn't tell me what they're trying to get done. Several Swiss-based Bitcoiners are renewing attempts to get the Swiss National Bank to hold Bitcoin in its reserves. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Could have told me that at the beginning. It says, in its reserves by holding a referendum to change the country's constitution. But they need to convince more than 100,000 locals to sign a petition first. Adding Bitcoin to the central bank reserves will help protect the country's, quote, sovereignty and neutrality, unquote, in an increasingly uncertain world. You're going to have a problem with that. I'm telling you right now, because I don't know about the Swiss bank in particular, but most banks are just gobbling up record amounts of gold. And through gold, you bring stability to everything, whether you're an individual or an institution. So if they have a big enough stockpile of gold, they're going to say, why do we need Bitcoin? And gold is more stable. They're going to say, why do we need Bitcoin? So you're going to have a tough fight right there. I don't know about this one. It says adding Bitcoin. Okay, so we read that part. It says, quote, we are in the process of completing the organizational preparations for the committee and preparing the documents that must be submitted to the state chancellery in order to start the process, unquote, Benheim told Swiss news outlet Neue Zürcher Zeitung on April 20th. However, 100,000 signatures from Swiss nationals are needed within 18 months for a referendum to be held on issues brought about by Swiss nationals or groups, a threshold that played 2B4CH's first attempt in October 2021. All right, so now let's move on. We only have a few more articles. I want to try to squeeze them in. Oh, I'm glad we made it to this one because I wanted to read this one here. And I forgot we had this. Let's see what's going on here. This article is titled, "Down for the Count. Peter Schiff urges Americans to get ready for a major dollar decline." Say it again. Say it again, Mr. Schiff. Quote, a major dollar decline. I've been talking about this possibility because of de-dollarization for 2 years. And people go to war in the comment sections. Well, I'm breaking down articles. Like, I'm giving people the articles, right? They could read them themselves, but I think a lot of people don't. And I'm breaking down the article, and I'm also giving my thoughts analytically on what the articles are saying. And even then, people will go to war about the dollar. No, the dollar will never go away. And I never say the dollar is going to 100% just go to zero, or go away. But no, it could be greatly diminished. Yes, they don't even want to hear that. And it's like, well, it's nothing I can do. All I can do is report the news. That's all I can do, you know. But now it's just, it takes people like this to come out, and then the people listen. And it's so crazy. Why do the people only listen to these types of individuals? The majority of the people. When these big institutions and news organizations come out and they say it, then it becomes law. Then most of the people are like, oh, yeah, okay, that can happen. But when you say it or I say it, they go against us. They don't care. But anyway, let's hear what Peter Schiff has to say. It says, predicts end of the greenback as global reserve currency. That's a major diminishing. That's a major decline, is it not? I covered an article about 2 weeks ago where it said BRICS nations has right now 3.2 billion people involved. The BRICS nations wants to de-dollarize. They want to use local currencies. They'll probably use a local currency on the low end, and they'll probably use a BRICS nation currency on the top end. And that'll be a 2-currency system. You have other global reserve currencies. The IMF, we read an article here on the channel. People got the chance to screenshot it, download it, all that good stuff. And the IMF has multiple reserve currencies, you know, on their list of reserve currencies. It's just the dollar is the top reserve currency, the one that has been preferred, but it doesn't mean that it has to continue that way in the future. And gold, well, you know, let's see what Peter Schiff has to say. Economist Peter Schiff has warned Americans to get ready for a, quote, major dollar decline, unquote. The genesis of his gloomy outlook. See how they try to, it's like, why put that negativity on what he's saying? He's trying to give you his truth, or what he believes is factual based on data he's seeing. And they say it's a gloomy outlook. If that's the real outlook, if you see the trajectory going down, it's not gloomy. That's just realistic. Get what I'm saying? It says the genesis of his gloomy outlook for the greenback will come as no surprise to those who understand Schiff's gold first investing philosophy. So now they're going to turn away from what he's saying because he obviously has an agenda to push gold. He doesn't have to. I don't. Who is this? Who wrote this article? No one has to push gold. I don't know if people get that. This is not crypto. Listen, I'm heavy in commodities. I probably read more commodities news than I do crypto news. I just report on crypto news because when I try to report on commodities news, a lot of people just don't care. But I read more commodities news. And let me tell you something. Nobody has to push gold. You didn't see gold's price going up. The regular people aren't very enthusiastic and filled with zeal about commodities. So they're clearly not what moves that price. What have all the professionals said is the catalyst for moving gold's price? The central banks. Geopolitical tension, a lot of turbulence when it comes to fiat currencies, which are most of them are at risk of a massive decline. Let's just put that out there. It's not just the dollar. But because of that, the central banks are going to continue record amounts of gold purchases, and that is what pushed the price up, not retail. So he doesn't have to, not he or nor anyone else has to push gold anywhere, because that's not what's going to move the price. You think that this individual doesn't know that? So anyway, but this is how they try to write it off, because there is a big agenda to protect the dollar at all costs. Whether it's doing terribly, it doesn't matter. The mainstream is going to tell you it's okay. The governments are going to tell you it's okay. That's how they do. While they buy gold and they prepare themselves and they do all of these, it doesn't matter what the negative is. They will prepare themselves for the worst, all the while telling the rest of the country everything's okay. That's how they always do it. Everything's okay. It's like you can see it's not okay. So anyway, so then they spread their money around and you get articles written like this, like that protect. They just at all costs, they don't want to let go of that reality that the dollar is not immortal. It says, quote, I think gold is telling us that the dollar is going down again. What it's doing, in my opinion, as I stop that quote there, is the record amounts of purchasing gold tells you that nobody trusts the dollar. That's really what it tells you, because you buy gold for stability. You buy gold to preserve your value. They don't trust the dollar, which is an indicator in and of itself. Back to the quote. It says, and this time is going down for the count, unquote. Well, on that note, I say, if it's greatly diminished, how does it make a comeback? Once you erode trust, it doesn't matter if it's the dollar that has lost trust, the governments that have lost trust, the banks that have lost trust, or someone in a relationship who has lost trust. How do you get trust back? Once you lose something, typically you can't get that back. You have altered and changed that trajectory forever, whether you like it or not. You could apologize all you want. You could try to patch up the ship, but it will never sail the same again. Those sailors on that ship, whatever ship it may be, will never look at it the same again. So once the dollar loses that trust, loses that position, how would it get back into that position? You even have France. I said this before. I showed the articles. You even have France suggest, hey, maybe a few of us over here in our region might want to step back from the dollar. And that's when France actually requested membership to BRICS nation. That blew my mind. What? But that shows you that there's concern over the dollar, right? And then they go into gold soaring to record highs, which we said that was going to happen for 2 years straight. Stuck by it, and it did happen. And it wasn't based on just pure speculation. It was based on catalyst, and the catalysts are still there. It says, quote, I think the dollar is going to be knocked off its pedestal, unquote. Listen, we'll see what happens. I'm right there. I'm like, we'll see. Right now, things don't look good, in my humble opinion, from what I've seen. And the dollar being used as a weapon has only further the damage to the dollar's reputation. But we'll see how it goes. The West has a lot of tricks up their sleeves, so we'll see how it goes. And that's where I stand with it. It says, quote, I think it's going to lose its status as the reserve currency, unquote. All right. Well, you mean the top reserve currency? There's other reserve currencies. I don't know how many times I got to say that, but OK. So now let's see if we have anything else. You know what? I'll post the other articles in the members only section. I have to go make the members only video right now. And this one's going to be potent. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.